Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is a Bat Châtillon 15555, the Tier 9 French SPG. This one's located on the north spawn of Redshire and it's under the command of CL1CKER. And he sent us in a few replays with this Arty before. As you can see, he's got 3 marks of excellence on the barrel. And yes, he sent us more than a few in this particular Arty. It's not the favourite Arty in the game. It's, in fact, actually, I think a lot of people prefer the Tier 9s, the 212A or the M53, M55 than this one. Even the FB3805 is more preferred to this one, mainly because it's only got a 155mm howitzer, which means you're limited in damage to 680 alpha and 48mm of penetration. Oh, tree went down there, so somebody is on that hill. They just knocked the tree down. Oh, and he hit someone! First shot! Direct hit, no explosion. So we know somebody got touched there. The standard reload is 28.76 seconds. And we can see that CL1CKER has got 24.14 seconds, so it's very much reduced. In fact, he's using... Oh, he hit another one, but a blind hit as well. He's not using premium consumables except oil, which will speed up his movement. He's not using food, which would normally speed up the reaction. It'd normally be coffee and croissant. But no, he's opted instead to have oil, which will speed him up. Probably got a very, very good crew in it, though, to have a 24.14 second reload. You can see how quickly he's dialing in on target. And he's fully dialed in on that Indian Panzer. Oh! Now, he didn't hit the Indian Panzer. He hit somebody who was behind him. And that's interesting, that. So there was another tank directly behind the Indian Panzer who took the round, because it went long past the Indian Panzer's last known position and hit somebody behind him. Got to go T30, just the other side of the castle, near the moat. Okay, he flips between the views because he likes the overhead to actually shoot, but just occasionally he'll check through battle assistant to see if there's any other way. And he just hit the Waffenträger. A massive hit, because that thing's got virtually no armour. And you can see he's now down to just 22%. Now, if it was CL1CKER who did most of that damage, that Waffenträger's lost a huge amount. Over 600, I would say. There he is. Have a quick close view. Line him up for a shot. And... well, he actually held on to the fire, because, in fact, he would have been right to do so. The round's out now, and this time round he gets him. So I think he claimed a huge amount of damage off that Waffenträger. That might have been the tank that he blind hit earlier in the game. And if it turns out at the end of the game that he's claimed virtually all of the hit points off that thing, then we'll know for sure that it was him. Okay, checking out. He's looking at the Indian Panzer now, but... that looks a very good target, because he's not moving very much because he's trying to use his gun depression. Rounds out. Oh, no, that one went long and didn't hit anything. Well, according to the wiki, they built one of these as a prototype. I don't think they actually did. According to the other documentation, it's the 155-58 that they built a prototype of, and not the 155-55. As I understand it, the first design was in 1955. Oh, he's just blind hit somebody else. Probably the Indian Panzer this time. Because it's named the 155-55, it's actually probably designed in 1955. 155mm in caliber. Just as the Lorraine 1555-50 was designed in 1950 and the 51 designed in 51. So yes, I think that gives you the year of origin of the design. And of course the 155-58 designed 3 years later. As you know, it's based on the hull design of a Bat Chat 25 ton combined with an M47. So it's a bit of a, you might say it's a bit of a mongrel. Okay, he's trying to line up a shot. That's good! Yeah, he did actually get a hit there for 307. Now, the amusing thing is that ever since these designs actually went in, various armies around the world have actually designed Artys which, or various nations I should say, have designed Artys which actually have turrets that do rotate. Of course, on most of these Artys, they don't rotate very much. They only rotate a little. They still keep most of their forward, most of the turret aimed at forward. Well, that was a kill by the Waffenträger auf Panzer IV on our team. We're now looking at the 122 TM down in the south. Instead, we're going for the Caliban. Now, that's a weakly armoured self-propelled gun. Technically, it's not a tank. It's a self-propelled gun. Rounds out. Oh, and a hit. 278, non-penetrating round, but it was a good shot. And so far he's managed to get just under 1,000 hit points of damage and a fair bit of stun assist. He's trying to line up the Caliban for kill shots. Line him up. Rounds out. And yes! I think he just caught the rear of him just as he was starting to move. I think the Caliban will probably be kicking himself that he didn't move sooner. But there's not a lot he can do now because he's back in the garage. And our ELC Evan 90 looks like he's expended all his rounds and he needs a little help. We might be able to help him. Oh, no, we don't need to because the 122 TM bit the dust. Taken out by our Wizzy 1201 GFT. And there's only 4 enemy tanks left, so it looks like this one's in the bag. But most of the enemy tanks are over on the east side of the map. And they've just found one of them, the 257, retreating, pulling back. Rounds out, looks good. What a shot! Even at full pace, he managed to judge the exact amount ahead that he needed to aim the shot. And he smacked the 257, he's still stunned. He didn't get any stun assists off that one, but at least he let the guy know that who's boss. And that's the thing about Arty, is it can always be very, very demoralizing when you get smacked from a long way away. And there's not a lot you can do. He's going for it again. Rounds out. Yeah, he's got him again. 308 this time. And now he's picking up stun assist. Bit late in the game, but it is helpful. Over 1,000 now. Okay, the enemy Wizzy 1201 GFT maneuvering. We need to get a shot in there if we can. We're up on top of the hill now. Okay, lining it up. See how quickly he's dialing in. Lined up. Oh, quite that long, but he still hit him for 306. That was interesting, that. And he got some stun assist off that one. Now, most of the rest of the team are closing in, and that's it. Game over. The gun's up because they've won. Here's the end of battle results, and that was a first class tanker for CL1CKER in the Bat Chat 155-55. He got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 9 in that one. And he got a Confederate medal for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. Let's have a look at team score. Well, we can see the amount of damage he did. He actually got the highest amount of damage, but he didn't get the high caliber. And that's probably because he didn't get 20% of the enemy hit pool. Total of 3,324 hit points of damage. The second highest damage was 122 TM with 3,070, and the third highest damage in the game went to the Centurion 7-1 on the enemy team, who managed to get 2,898. When it came to kills, it was the Wizzy 1201 GFT who managed to get 4 kills. 3 kills went to the 122 TM, and then 2 kills went to CL1CKER. and also to the Wizzy1201 GFT on the enemy team. When it came to base XP, it's the 122 TM who did the best with 1,318. 993 went to CL1CKER, and 927 went to the Wizzy1201 GFT. He fired 13 rounds, got 12 direct hits on the enemy and 2 penetrations. Very good accuracy, and yes, he did get some pens. I think some of those were the blind shots that he actually fired, where he actually hit some of the tanks. I'm pretty sure that the Wizzy120 was the Waffenträger was one that he actually penned him twice. Look at that, 1,043 hit points. So some of those blind shots did hit the target and do a massive amount of damage. He also got 11 splash on the enemy, 3,324 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. Damaged 8 of the enemy, killed 2, so there's his Confederate. 1,798 hit points of stun assist off 11 stuns. He earned 31,949 credits from the game, and after resupply of ammunition and consumables, took away 28,364 credits profit, 993 XP for the battle, 1490 was the amount he took away. So that's the end of the first game. Let's have a look at the second. And the second battle is on the south spawn of Ghost Town, and it's about to start.
Let's go.
Oh, got no engine noises, so we will restart that. Okay, the second battle is on the south spawn of Ghost Town, and it's about to start. Game on. Well, this time CL1CKER is headed off to the east of the map, following the M53, M55. And I do believe that is an M53 actually, because I think that gun is the 155mm howitzer. If it extends over the front of the vehicle, it definitely is the M53, and I think it is because it's a short fat barrel if it's the 8-incher. And that definitely looks like a 155. It means he can fire faster, but obviously he doesn't do as much damage as the 8-inch howitzer. Okay, he's found his firing position, he's ready to go. Well, from this position he can certainly hit some of the enemy tanks. They're actually coming up towards the streets, and he gets a nice hit. It's a splash hit for 179. The only problem with going to this corner is that it's so elevated, it's easy enough for enemy light tanks to sneak up through the bushes nearby, and they might be able to spot you as you're moving about. Okay, he's going to go for another shot. This time he might get the Kramvarn. Oh, changed his mind. He's going to go for the TNH instead. Dialing in. Round out. Yep, that's a hit. 295. All adds up. You just keep pumping those rounds in as quickly as you can. And he's picked up some stun assist as well from that. Well, now it's a bit of a problem because the buildings do tend to get in the way when you're actually shooting at this end. Now, he might be able to hit that E4, but it's going to be a difficult shot. Bounce out. Oh, he got him! 140. He hit the frontal armour, which is very, very tough armour. You notice how what he's doing is, after he's firing, he's moving up to the rock and hugging it to stop the enemy Arty trying to get a shot at him if he does actually fire. But at least we get to see where the shells are hitting. You can see that one hit the rear of the turret actually. Fully dialed in, rounds out, and oh, the shell lands to one side. It goes to the right. So it didn't hit the aim point, it actually moved. Little bit of RNG there. Okay, it's backing up again. Okay, almost ready to go. It looks like he's going to hit the E4, but I'm not sure if he can now. I think he's trying to see if he can. Trying to see if he can get a solution. If the E4 moves over just a little bit more. At the moment he's waiting to shoot. He changed his target. That building there is really getting in the way. Over on the other side of the battlefield, we've got a Noobs and a STB. Well, he split the difference there and he actually splashed the STB-1. But E4's come back to his original spot and he's been taken out of the game by our E4, and that's good news. Now, he might be able to get a shell into that corner. Ah, now the STB-1 is moving up, so this way can really be helpful to his teammates. But he has to remember, it's a nearly a 3-second flight time to the STB. And he splashes him, 140 this time. That Gorilla's taking an awful risk being out there in those bushes. But, oh, massive amount of stun assist there from the STB-1. And although he's backing up, might be able to get a shot in there. But he decides not to shoot. I think he actually didn't back up enough to get a shot on the Kranvan. If the Kranvan and the T95 keep backing up, then he can lob a shell in there. That's out. It hits the building, but it still splashes the T95 for 115, so he's still doing it, still getting damage. Now he's taking a bit of a risk advancing, and he's still moving. As you can see with the pictures jogging about a bit, that's mainly because he's on the move, but he's decided he's right up against the edge of the map at the moment. I take the borders off the map because it actually makes the map look bigger. So long as you keep an eye on your mini-map, you know if you are close to the edge. He's dialing in on the Kranvan, going for a shot. Rounds out. Yes! 309 from a near miss. That's a good shot. Yes, he's actually pushing himself into the edge of the map. And in fact, now the enemy Arty, or one of them, has become spotted up in the north. In fact, it's the 212A. He's right up on the east side, the top, the northeast side of the map. Meanwhile, Clicker's going for these heavy tanks. Might still be able to hit them though. Oh, look at that! He actually hit two tanks there, the M4Y, or the M6Y rather, and the Kranvan. So that was a really good hit. And the enemy has lost their 212A. Okay, can he get a shot in this M6Y? Yes! Splash for 178. The M53, M55 says he's going to give support. Ideally now, Clicker needs to move up. He's trying to find a solution on these enemy tanks, but... Oh, there they are now. He can now see them. Those guys are going to back up. They will back up when they realise there's enemy tank behind them. He's aiming for the hill for the convoy, which is very lightly armoured. Rounds out. That was a good hit. 189. The convoy doesn't have much in the way of armour. Very thin on armour. I think he's reluctant to move away from this corner because he wants to get shots on those bunch enemy tanks. Here they are. He might still be able to get around into them. They're trying to engage the TNHV T-Viz 51. Almost seems now like he ought to back up himself, try and change the angle, but he gets a hit into the Emil. Surprisingly, the scores are still even. It looks like the enemy seems to have deserted most of their positions on the west side of the map. The only one that didn't was this Centurion 7-1. Dialing in, and he's tracked. Oh, he ignores him. That was a tracked vehicle. He just got hit and tracked. And now he's trying to get a solution, and the Centurion's fixed his tracks now. Rounds out. That's a hit. 159. Well, the enemy is now losing. They're down by 3. He's still sticking here for the moment, just to see if he can get a shot on any enemy tanks in the town. The T-95's in there somewhere. There he is. He's a one-shot as well. I think the TNH is going in for the kill, and I don't think we're going to get anything off that one. And yes, he did get him, but now we've got the UDES. Rounds out. A splash for 73. It weakens him, it stuns him, but he's still in the battle, that UDES. And in fact, he just killed our TNH. In fact, that UDES is being a real problem. Might be able to get a shot in there. Oh, and he hits him! Blind hit! No explosions, so we know we got him. There's the STB-1, the other side of the battlefield. It was the only one holding up a defense against our Cranbon. We've got a 2685 up on the hill. Strip 1030 trying to capture him. Kill him. Lined up. Rounds out. And... oh, it went long! Oh dear. It went right over the top of his head, so RNG said, no, you're not going to hit that one. And there's the other enemy, Arty. The Cranbon sees to him. The STB-1's been killed, so it's now just this Object 2685 and the UDES, who went into the town and hasn't been seen since. And he gets a bit of splash on the 2685, but not enough to stop him killing the Striv. And there's the UDES. He's in the town centre and he's very low on hit points. The 2685's gone down to the M53, M55, and that means now there's only one enemy tank left. This UDES 1516. He's low on hit points. In fact, he's a splash kill. Oh, he got a blind kill to win the game. He thought he was still there, and he was. And he got a brilliant blind kill at the end. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was another first-class tanker for Clicker in the Bat Chat 155-55. He got a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 13. And he got another Confederate to match the one he got before for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. Let's have a look at team score. Well, in this one, he didn't get the highest damage, and that actually went to the T124 on his team with 4,070. Second highest was the Cranbon with 4,019, and the third highest damage was the Cranbon on the enemy team with 3,953. When it came to Clicker, he managed to get 2,838, which is not bad. It's bigger amount than the M53, M55, also had a 155mm gun. When it came to kills, it was actually the Object 2685 who did the best with 4 kills in that one. 3 kills went to the Cranbon, the TNH Viz 51 and the UDES 1516, and Clicker only got the 1 kill from that game. But when it came to base XP, he's actually in second place because the Striv K managed to get 1040, Clicker managed to get 1026, and the Cranbon 930. He fired 18 rounds, got 8 direct hits on the enemy, but no penetrations. That 155mm howitzer doesn't have much penetration, I'm afraid. 48mm is not a lot, and if you're up against tier 9s and tier 10s, and this was a tier 10 game, it's very difficult to penetrate those enemy heavies or tank destroyers, and you need a very thin-skinned vehicle such as an Arty in order to get a pen. 20 splashes as well, which is not bad, because that means he must have hit some tanks together. And I think he did when he was firing shells into that alley, into that street where they were bunching up. 2,838 hit points, and all of it was at more than 300 meters. He damaged 12 of the enemy, killed 1, so there was only 3 enemy tanks he didn't touch in the entire game. 2,697 hit points of stun assist off 19 stuns. He received 34,397 credits on a premium account, and after resupply of ammunition and consumables, took away 26,436 credits profit. 1,026 XP, but took away 1,539 altogether. So I think that was a better game, actually. He was moving up gradually, getting closer to the enemy, but he was showing you that you can actually get decent hits right over in the corner of the map. Although it was a good job that he was hugging that rock all the time, because it's a very good chance, as I said, that if the enemy light tanks manage to sneak up through those bushes, if they spot you, you make it very easy for the enemy Arty to get a shot on you. It's a fairly open position, you're high up, and it's easy for them to see. So yeah, it's not a position I favour a lot, but it does work with the Bat Châtillon 155-55. So that's the end of the second game. Let's have a look at the third one. The last game is on the south spawn of Prokhorovka. Okay, off we go. Well, it looks like he's going to be over on the railway line. So now you know, after seeing the where the modules are, you know the commander is actually standing up in just underneath that little cupola. Oh, now Clicker's going into an unusual spot. He's actually going the other side of the railway line. That's a little unconventional. Although I have done that position myself. In fact, there is a good position just over the hill. That can be quite interesting on the enemy tanks when they're coming directly towards you. That's much easier to get shots on them that way. Okay, Viz 55 lining him up. Okay, rounds out. Got a hit! Direct hit. Oh, he knocked the tree down. That would normally be a no-no, and you'd have to change position after that, because it does kind of give you a clue as to where you are, just in case the enemy Arty's looking. Now he's still in reload, even though it's saying okay. Okay, he's gone back to the centre line again to have a look at that Viz 55. There's an enemy tank on the hill, or trying to come up the hill. It's a medium. Can't see the Viz 55, who's probably fallen back. But this AE Phase 1's put himself in a bit of a pickle here, because he is an easy hit. Rounds out. Only 5 hit points, actually. He turned just as we were firing, which meant obviously that it wasn't his engine bay that was actually in line. And that EBR-90 is going to be a bit of a pain, I think, because he's going to be constantly going through the frame, but very difficult to hit. Of course, he could so easily cross the railway line into the village and zoom down this side of the map. Here we go. Can he get a shot? No, he's changed his mind. He's going for the Viz 55, who's receiving fire from the hill. He's firing back at them. Lined up, rounds out, and... well, RNG was very unkind there, because that shell landed well short. And you notice now Clicker's pulled back, changed his position, throw the enemy Arty off the trail. Always a good idea to do that. Just change it just a little. Can make a huge difference. Okay, turret's turned, because he's now aiming over onto the west side of the map. That Leopard just took heavy fire. Oh, and he decides not to shoot. Instead, he's gone back to where the EBR was. Oh, I think that Leopard would have been a nice kill, because I think there's 2 tanks up there. They did spot the Leopard and somebody else. And there's a very good chance if he'd fired at the Leopard, he might have got the other tank as well. Okay, just as I feared, the EBR has gone into the village and he's headed this way. Is he going to try and make it all the way south? Our guys on the hill will try to hit him. And in fact, actually, they've asked him for assistance. And he's dropped into the dip, which now makes it fairly difficult for them to hit him, but not so difficult for Clicker. Oh, beautiful. Absolutely fantastic shot, but he has to move now, because the EBR-90 did see him. And I'm pretty sure that ST-1 saw him as well. So he needs to get over onto the other side, otherwise enemy Arty will be firing in this direction very shortly. He's probably dialing in at this moment. And he'll be looking for Tracer, so you will have to move after each shot from now on. But that was a brutal kill, that on the EBR-90. Very well lined up as well. He led the target. Okay, well, you see the Viz 55, and I think he wants that one more than he wants the A-Phase 1. And he gets a hit, but now he has to move. And he's doing the right thing. Yes, he's changing over the railway line, which is going to throw the enemy Arty off no end. Because if they do aim at those bushes, they're going to get it completely wrong. In fact, it looks to me like he's going to go over the other side of the battlefield. You couldn't stop in one of these bushes near the cap to take a quick pot shot before going over to the other side. That A phase one's come up again. Yes, he's going to take a stop and get a shot in. Dialing in. Now, will he be more cooperative this time? Is he being more predictable? Rounds out. Yes, he was. He got a direct hit. Yeah, most non-Arty players don't understand its predictability and our ability to determine what an enemy vehicle is doing that enables us to get hit so often on enemy vehicles. We understand they're moving up to a firing position, they're taking their shot, they're pulling back again, and it's when they become very predictable that you can then lay a shot down in their path and take them out. That Conway's a dead duck. Yes! Knew it! I knew that he was going to get that one, no problem. He just made a fatal error on very low hit points. He just decided to stop and then move straight forward again. So he stopped pressing his S key, pressed his W key, went straight into Clicker's shell, and he was out the game. I think that's another thing, is that Arty players also have the habit of watching enemy vehicles. They have to be patient because our shells take so long to load, but they have to be able to predict what the enemy vehicle is doing by its very nature, its behavior. What is it doing? What's its task? Is it moving forward to spot, or is it just trying to locate where the enemy is and then pull back immediately? Is it moving up to a firing position? That phase one's about to shoot and pull back, and he does. Rounds out. It's going to be a hit. It is. Very predictable. Thing is, tank drivers don't spend so much time watching the battlefield, watching what's going on, instead of actually aiming at the enemy. We have to understand what our target is up to. That object is lining up as if he's going to move across the battlefield. He's a little trepidatious. I think he doesn't want to move away from his firing position, but he keeps looking as if he was wanting to move across. And I think the A phase one's still in this locale. There's the 7. He decided not to go, but again, he's being predictable. Oh, the building there was getting in the way. There's the A phase one. Again, he's still being predictable by moving around a certain point. Line him up. Oh, RNG was very unkind there, and that one went to the left and long. Okay, T110E4 sitting up in the nest. Fosh nearby. They're stopping our guys moving up the west side of the map. We just lost our TNH Viz 51. Oh, nice hit on the Fosh. 186. He's got heavy armor on the front of the vehicle, and he's gone. So Clicker got the stun assist off that one. Still got plenty of ammo. And you may have noticed Clicker's actually loaded 1 round of AP in this game. I think he's anticipating a heavy tank that he wants to attack. Rounds out. Lands short. But he did get stun assist off that one because he used the standard HE. And of course, stun assist means you get a much better chance of picking up all the extra stun assist that will enable you to get an ace tanker. T55A reward tank. Rounds out. Well, he pulled back just in time to avoid most of the damage there. We did knock a tree down, but I don't think he'll worry us at this moment. The enemy still has their Arty. He's lined up on that A phase 1, but he's still reloading. In fact, the A phase 1 just turned around. Okay, he's decided to load the armor piercing round this time. Okay, it's in the breach. The A phase 1's moved away. Oh, and he's gone. Now, is he going to switch back to the HE? Or keep the AP round? No, he's going back. Or is he? No, he's staying with the AP round. I was wrong. Enemy RT on the move in the back. And he's gone. He's been taken out. So we don't have to worry about relocating now. But he's moving up the field because obviously now we've got to the other end. So we can now start putting pressure on the enemy. And moving up in this on this map does actually help. Because it might mean he'll get some good shots on the enemy vehicles. From a different angle. Okay, they've got 4 tanks left. 3 of them are on the hill, so far as we know. Oh, now the T10 just got wiped out. That's probably from the hill. Okay, we're looking in that general direction. We can see the ST1. We're dialing in. It's HE in the breach now. Rounds out. Hit 298. Can we have some stun assist, please? Yes! Okay, there's the T110E5 on the move, trying to get to the river. The other 2 are on the hill or halfway up the hill. Progetto, line him up now. Oh, and he's gone. Okay, so we need the Leopard now, or the T110E5. Except the Leopard's been killed. Or is it the Leopard's been killed? No, the Leopard's still alive. I'm wrong. The Leopard is still alive. We lost our Leopard. And now we've lost our Tortoise. Well, 2 tanks, but they're putting up a strong defense. Going for the T110E5. And he stops. But he does get stunned. And we are getting stun assist. The enemy Leopard's gone up on top of the hill. Okay, we're going to keep this E5 stunned. Rounds out. Oh, he stops again, but at least we stun him. Get 84. And now we're getting stun assist. Okay. We just need some more stun assist. There we go. 611 off that one. And that just leaves the Leopard up on top of the hill. But he might be headed towards our cap area because the Wizzy hasn't found him. And in fact, actually, he's right on the edge, going down into the dip. Now, can we get a shot on him as he's on the way down? Well, he's landed in the water. He's fallen in the water. Oh, he got a kill shot. He fell into the water to drown. And CL1CKER just wiped him out in the water. He must be feeling wet. Here's the end of battle stats, and that was an ace tanker game for CL1CKER in the Bat Chat 155.55. Yes, he upped his game. He got first classes in the last 2, but this time round he gets an ace. He got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In this one, he only got 10. Not the usual load, but he did get another Confederate for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. And yes, he did get a couple of pens. He penned the EBR-90 with 1 shot, and he also penned the Leopard right at the end of the game. I think the computer said, nope, this game's got to end now, and he's definitely going to get that Leopard, and it took him out. But it was a good shot, actually. The guy was under the water. He was probably giving up and just trying to drown himself, but CL1CKER wasn't going to let him get away with it. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, he didn't get the highest damage in this game, but that went to the Tortoise with 6,013 hit points. Second highest damage was the Leopard 1, who managed to get 4,059. And the third highest damage in the game was the Wizzy 111 Model 5A with 3,559. We can see that Clicker got 2,712 hit points, which actually put him fourth on damage in the entire game. When it came to kills, he was actually joint top because he managed to get 3, so did the MS-50 Foch and the Tortoise, and one member of the enemy team, the Leopard 1, also managed 3 kills. When it came to base XP, it was the Tortoise who did the best with 1,249. Well, he would, of course, because he did get so much damage and pick up that high caliber. And the second highest was Clicker with 1,108. And the next highest one after that was the TVP T5051, who only managed 876. He fired 16 rounds, got 9 direct hits on the enemy, 2 penetrations, 13 splash, damage of 2,712 hit points, of which 2,112 were at more than 300 meters. So yes, that EBR-90 was actually quite a close shot when he got him. 10 enemy vehicles were damaged, 3 were killed, 2,658 hit points of stun assist of 8 stuns. That's what really helped him tip him over the edge to get the ace tanker in the end. All that stun assist right at the end really does help you get high ranking. 33,449 credits from the battle, and after ammunition and resupply of consumables, he actually ended up with 26,069 credits profit. 1,108 XP times 4 for the first victory, 3,324 from personal missions payout, and took away 9,972 experience points altogether. So some players don't particularly like this particular Arty because it's difficult to play and it doesn't do a lot of damage each shot. But I think Clicker does enjoy his Bat Châtillon 155-55, and you can tell that from the fact that he's got 3 marks on the barrel. But I'm sure he'll be showing us how his skills with the 155-58 sometime soon. If he can do this well with the 155-55, yes, it should be a doddle with the tier 10. I hope you enjoyed this replay or set of replays. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm. And he does like his munchies. And please do remember that we are giving all the revenue from this channel for the foreseeable future to the Ukraine, the Red Cross Ukraine appeal. We will be giving proof. It will be on the What Arty Noobs Facebook page, and if anyone asks for it, we'll provide it on other channels so that people can see that we're sending the money off. But the more videos you watch, the more that we can send them. So please do watch our videos. If you have a good replay, send it in. We might be able to do it for you. We've had quite a few sent in just recently. People who don't normally inhabit our channel, and they're sending their replay in because they know that they can get their video on YouTube through us much easier than if they did it through one of the other established channels like Quickie Baby or Mighty Jingles. Yes, you might be seen by more people on their channel, but the fact is they have so many replays sent to them, it's very difficult for them to pick one out. So if you want to ensure that you're on YouTube, send it to us. Thanks for watching.